Welcome to this week's Riks Round Up with political commentators Scarlett, Karoleva, host and reporter for Riks Europe, and Pieter Cleppe, editor-in-chief for Riks Europe. Welcome back to this week's Riks Round Up. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
More than ready.
So we will be talking about Ursula von der Leyen's controversy, and we will also be covering a bit of updates with politics in the Netherlands. But we do have some breaking news from Germany. Rather horrific video has been released. Peter, could you tell us what this is?
Well, it looks like there's been another Islamist terrorist attack because what happened is that a German critic of radical Islam has been stabbed in the city of Mannheim, with the stabber also, as I understand, managing to stab some other people before he was shot by the police. Of course, it's very early days, but clearly it looks like this person has been targeted because of his IDs, and this is of course deeply worrying. And if indeed, like in many other instances, it will turn out to be somebody with a migration background, that's of course gonna only increase the concerns that we see in Germany when it comes to migration. Also because we this week through Swiss media we learned about horrific statistics about sexual violence that have been attacked since 2015 and 2016, when a lot of migrants managed to enter Germany without any controls.
And I'm sure, considering this attack, we will most likely see a heightened security now that we get closer and closer to the elections. Do you think that might be the case, Scarlett?
Yes, of course, because this was an, if I'm correct, it's a post-Euro protest that was going on. So they were, pretty harsh on migration. And this could have been, but we're not sure, of course, one of the motives why this person was attacked so horrifically. There will be a need for an increase of security.
And moving on to today's set topics, we'll start with the EU and Ursula von der Leyen. So she's bidding for a second term as president of the European Commission, but this has been considered to be in jeopardy now that she is potentially forming an alliance with Italy's right-wing Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. Scarlett, I'll direct the first question to you. Why do you think that Ursula von der Leyen has received so much backlash for stating that she is open to working with Meloni?
There's only one answer possible, and that is fear. And fear on many different ways. First and foremost, fear for the fact that Meloni is a very influential person. She's performing well within Italy, her country where she's the prime minister. She's well respected among her peers, and she could really actually build a bridge between conservatives and the right wing. If she would collaborate with Ursula von der Leyen, with the EPP, who's set to become the biggest party with these elections, they could really switch the direction that the parliament has been going for in the past years, which was a very liberal and socialist policy. Meloni would change that. She would be more stricter on migration. She would be stricter on green policies, which is something that liberals and the socialists fear. And I think also a second thing why they're so fearful is that by acknowledging that Meloni is the far right, they also have to acknowledge that their policies have failed. What I mean with that is that the only reason we're seeing that, ECR and IDEA are doing so well currently is because people are not happy with the results that have been delivered by liberal and socialist parties. And that is actually increasing the threat of Meloni even more.
And Peter, why do you think Ursula von der Leyen is considering an alliance with the right-wing groups?
Well, she's trying this tactic now to obtain a second term. However, it may backfire because the centrist Renew group and the socialists, they have said that they don't want von der Leyen to be voted in with support of the more right-wing ECR, and certainly not with the support of the ID group. Even the Chancellor of Germany has repeated this. So this is actually, I would say, now complicating the chances of von der Leyen to get a second term. However, one thing we should not forget is that the vote in the European Parliament on the new Commission President is actually going to be held in secret. So already 5 years ago, von der Leyen got into power thanks to the votes of the Polish governing party PiS and Viktor Orban from Hungary. So nothing really is new here. I think while it a few weeks ago looked pretty certain that she was going to succeed herself, now it's less certain.
And moving on to today's last topic, who will be the new Dutch MP? Scarlett, a lot has been happening with politics in the Netherlands, but could you bring us up to speed and inform us of where we are today, and also tell us who is Dick Schoof?
Yes, Schoof.
Schoof. It's not so easy.
Well, yeah, this is such a strange situation because there's so much we can talk about this man. First and foremost, yes, people, his name is really Dick. He is actually currently the highest level ranking officer at the Ministry of Security. And he's also a former director of the AIVD. And the AIVD in the Netherlands is actually the Secret Intelligence and Security Service. Now, this is tricky. This will come back later. I will come back on it later. Thirdly, he was also the director of the END, which is the organization that is in charge of all the asylum applications. So the people that come into Netherlands, that are approved to stay in the Netherlands, naturalization. So you can see by his profile that Dick has a lot of experience both in migration and in security. But the interesting thing is that up until 2021, he was actually a member of the PvdA, which is a socialist party. And this is something he's also received a lot of backlash on.
And Pieter, what do you perceive as the general opinion of Dick Schoof? And is he considered suitable for the role as MP?
It's still not 100% clear why they went for him. It looks like he's one of the most senior bureaucrats in the Netherlands, so this may have been the reason. The idea that the four leaders of the political parties composing the Dutch government, that they will not be in the government, that they will remain in parliament, that parliament will this time around be, let's say, a lot more strong than otherwise, and that therefore you need some kind of a grey figure that is basically tasked to implement the orders from the party leaders. That's the idea. How that's going to play out in practice is another question. Mr. Schoofs has been implicated in a number of affairs whereby the Dutch Secret Service was monitoring citizens in a shady manner. So this is a bit strange because one of the party leaders, Mr. Omtzigt of the second party composing the coalition, some time ago he criticized the Dutch Secret Service for that. So now they go with this person. Now I think it looks like he's gonna survive, and it looks like he will be the prime minister. And all in all, this new coalition, I would say, is quite a sensible center-right correction on the current policies in the Netherlands. So let's give it a chance.
So, Scarlett, who will run the country? Will it be Schoof or Wilders?
Yeah, that's the question. We don't know at this moment, to be honest. It's, of course, a very strange situation. First and foremost, that Geert Wilders, who is actually the leader of the biggest party, himself will not become prime minister. And, even though Dick Schoof himself said in a press conferences, if I would be prime minister, I am prime minister. But I do think Wilders will have a very big influence on him. It's probably also a strategical choice that he elected Schoof and he didn't propose anyone else. But those are things that we can only say allegedly, and then, of course, we'll see it in practice once he will be announced as our prime minister, because even that isn't sure yet.
Well, that concludes this week's Riks Round Up. I will work on not butchering the language for future reference. I'll have to practice. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Riks Europe.